Today I'm reviewing a 2014 Subaru Forester. The Forester was introduced in 1997 and it's currently on its 5th generation. This model falls into the 4th generation that was sold from the 2013 to 2018 model year. For this 4th generation, they offered it with 2 different powertrain options. The base model has a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Those models are referred to as the 2.5i, and then they also offer a more powerful 2 liter 4-cylinder turbo on the XT models. The XT models also have sportier styling. Now within each of those classifications, they also offer 4 different trim packages, starting off with the base sport model, then the premium, the limited, and the touring package. This model is the 2.5i Touring. Now I've got to admit that I was never a huge fan of the first 2 generations of the Forester. I actually thought that it was one of the worst looking vehicles of its era, but I've mentioned that several times and I've got a lot of feedback, I'm sure I will in this video as well, from people that absolutely loved those first 2 generations. I fall into the category that feels like from the 3rd generation going forward that they really improved the Forester. And I think that with the 3rd, it had a fairly plain appearance to it, but it was very clean, very conservative, pretty attractive overall. And then with this 4th generation, they took it to the next level. Now, I also have to admit that when this came out, I thought it was a little awkward looking, but that's kind of par for the course for Subaru. It's a very quirky brand all around. Sometimes their vehicles look a little awkward when they first come out, but as you get used to them, they start to grow on you. And that's certainly the case here for me with the 4th generation of the Subaru. Again, compared with that 3rd generation, I do think that it's an enhancement. It's got a more modern appearance to it, a much more premium look, and it's got a little bit more style. Starting up here at the front of the vehicle, it's got a pretty typical Subaru front end. The headlights are kind of bulging out from the bodywork. Nice simple grille with a touch of chrome. And we've got fog lights down below in the lower bumper. So you've also got a couple creases in the hood. And then coming around to the side, it's a very tall vehicle. That's always been characteristic of the Forester. One of the things that's really great about that is that it really helps to improve visibility inside the vehicle. You'll see they've got really tall glass here on the sides. Not only does that help with visibility, but likewise inside it's got a lot of cargo space. And really when it comes down to it, that's what's great about this vehicle, is that it's all about practical things. I mentioned that I'm not crazy about the styling. I do think that it's improved, you know, from the 3rd generation going forward. But what's always been good about the Forester is that it's this vehicle that is incredibly practical. Visibility is excellent. Cargo space is excellent inside. It's pretty good in terms of fuel economy, great in the snow and ice. All around, it's a vehicle that just does all things very well. You will see that on this top-end touring package, we also get a pretty nice set of 17-inch wheels, integrated mud flaps, and then up top we've got side rails and a nice large sunroof. We also get a little chrome strip along the bottom of the window compartment here. Just gives it a little bit of that premium look. Blinkers integrated into the mirrors, and then you also see on the mirrors that they are heated. Coming around to the back, it's got a pretty nice clean look here as well. I really like the tail lights on the Forester. They've got some little chrome insets that give it just a little bit of class. Got it around the perimeter and then around that backup light. Got the chrome lettering on the back, Subaru emblem. It's got a nice clean look all around. And again, great visibility with this large rear window. A couple of reflectors down below in the bumper. And you'll see on this model we get single exhaust. On that XT model, that would be dual exhaust. So all around, definitely a very different looking vehicle. There's nothing else that quite looks like the Forester. It's certainly a little bit quirky, but like I said, I feel like it's a vehicle that kind of grows on you. And what's great about this vehicle, much more so than the styling, is that when it comes to practicality, it does extremely well. Looking inside the Forester, you'll see it's got a really nice interior. It's a nice functional layout, fairly high quality materials for a vehicle within this price bracket. Nice accent colors, and it comes very heavily loaded in this top-end touring package. See that our seating surfaces are full leather. We also get power windows, power door locks, power heated mirrors, a Harman Kardon premium audio system, some storage space and cup holder in the door here. Driver's seat is full power with lumbar support. To the left of the steering column, electronic opening of the rear hatch, dimming of the instrument cluster, and then we can also turn off traction control. See that on the steering wheel we've got controls for audio and Bluetooth, cruise control, and bottom left here is to scroll through a number of vehicle menus in the center LCD screen that we've got up here on the dash. I'll go ahead and jump in. You'll see that our key has a nice design with an integrated keyless entry and alarm. Go ahead and turn on the ignition. So you've got a nice looking instrument cluster here, tachometer on the left, speedometer on the right, LCD screen in the center. And then again, we got this center dash LCD screen up above. When we put the vehicle in reverse, the screen over on the right hand side is our backup camera. You see on the left hand side we've got climate control information, and then on this right hand side we've got temperature, fuel economy information, and a clock. And then using those controls on the steering wheel that I mentioned before, we can scroll through a number of various menus. Below that we've got a couple of vents, hazard lights, and we've got our audio system with AM/FM radio and then XM satellite radio. You can also connect a device using a hardwired or Bluetooth connection and play music from your phone or MP3 player. We've got a little slot here for a memory card so you can download music into the vehicle, and we've also got a menu option for phones so you can place calls through the vehicle audio system. Below that we've got a dual zone climate control system for driver and front passenger, heat and air conditioning, 12-volt outlet down below, heated seats for driver and front passenger, and then you'll see we've got a button here for Subaru's X mode. This is an optional feature that basically enhances off-road performance. Got our gear shifter here. This model is equipped with the automatic transmission. Got our emergency brake, 2 cup holders, center armrest opens up, got auxiliary connection, USB connection, and a 12-volt outlet inside. Up above we've got a self-dimming rear view mirror, compartment for sunglasses, a couple reading lights, and a massive sunroof. This rear seat of the Forester is extremely spacious. No shortage of leg, head, and shoulder room. See that our center seat back here folds down into an armrest with 2 cup holders. And then likewise we've got cup holders and some more storage space integrated into each of the doors. You can also drop down these seat backs in a 60-40 split to further increase rear cargo area. One thing that's kind of nice is that we've got this rubber mesh on the back of the seats to help protect that material when you've got items stored in the back. At the back we've got an electronic rear hatch, very handy feature if you've never experienced having a vehicle with one. And you'll see that inside it's very spacious. One of the advantages of the square dimensions on the Forester is that this is very usable space. You'll see we've also got a 12-volt outlet, and then another cool feature is we can pull on this little button here and it drops down those seat backs. Got one on each side, so you don't have to go up to the front to drop those down. And you'll see that with those seat backs down, it's a very spacious rear cargo area. Also got a little storage compartment on each side. And we've got a light here to help illuminate the rear cargo area. And then below the floorboards, we can also pull this up, and we've got some storage compartments for various items. With the exception of the BRZ, all Subarus, including the Forester, come standard with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system, and the 4th generation of the Forester is offered with 2 different engine options. The base engine is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder that has 170 horsepower. That's paired to either a CVT automatic transmission for 24 miles per gallon in the city and 31 miles per gallon on the highway, or a 6-speed manual which sees 23 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway. With the 2.5, the 0-60 time is 8.6 seconds. They also offer the XT model, which has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo with 250 horsepower. Unfortunately, on that model, you can't get it with the manual transmission. It only comes with the automatic. EPA rating is 22 miles per gallon in the city and 28 miles per gallon on the highway, and the 0-60 time drops to 6.7 seconds. Max tow capacity on the Forester is 1,500 pounds. All around, the Forester is a pretty nice vehicle to drive. I feel like a lot of other Subarus that are more entry level have kind of a cheaper feel to them. You get a lot of wind noise, a lot of road noise, and the Forester is definitely a step above those other vehicles. It's not at like luxury car level, but it's definitely headed in the right direction. And all around, it really is a very nice vehicle to drive. Of course, because it's got that symmetrical all-wheel drive system, it's got great handling on dry pavement as well as snow, ice, or other inclement driving conditions. One thing that I'm not real crazy about on the Forester is the base 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It certainly is very good in terms of fuel economy, but when it comes to performance, it definitely feels a little bit underpowered. Whether you're accelerating hard onto the highway, passing vehicles, or going up a really steep grade, it just feels like the vehicle is working very hard. And I've driven the XT model as well, and that is a night and day difference in terms of performance. So certainly if gas mileage is your #1 priority, the 2.5 is the way to go. But if you want something that's going to be a little bit more exciting to drive, that's going to be more capable when it comes to driving aggressively, the XT model is definitely the direction that you'll want to go. We'll go ahead and do an acceleration test here onto the highway. Here it is, very rev happy. That's 45, 50, 55, and that's 60. So it certainly is capable of getting the job done, but as you can see there, you get a lot of engine noise in the process. It doesn't really give you the confidence that it's doing it very easily. On the contrary, it actually feels like it's working quite hard. And so, you know, if you're looking for more performance, that's where the XT model is really going to be the better vehicle. So that's a look at the 4th generation model of the Subaru Forester. Like I said, I'm not necessarily crazy about the styling on this vehicle, but it certainly has grown on me, and I feel like it's a huge improvement from prior generations. But where this vehicle really shines is when it comes to practicality. Very spacious inside, it's great in snow and ice, it's very fuel efficient, it's got excellent visibility, and then of course Subarus are extremely reliable and have some of the best resale value of any vehicle out there. If you have any comments or questions on the Forester, leave them in the section below. For more car reviews, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.